Ready to sink your teeth into one of the most chilling classics of all time? Bram Stoker's Dracula isn't just about a bloodthirsty count. It's a deep dive into the fears, desires, and dark secrets of the Victorian society. With Gothic castles, mysterious creatures, and a battle between old world superstition and modern science, this novel does more than just spook. It challenges what it means to be human. So, grab your crucifix and garlic, and let's unravel the spine tingling layers of Dracula. Published in 1897, Dracula is a Gothic horror novel by Bram Stoker that has become one of the most famous works of vampire fiction. The story is told through a series of journal entries, letters, newspaper articles, and other documents, which gives it a unique narrative style. The novel begins with Jonathan Harker, a young English solicitor, traveling to Transylvania to assist Count Dracula with a real estate transaction. Harker soon realizes that he is a prisoner in Dracula's castle and uncovers the Count's true nature as a vampire. Harker escapes, but Dracula moves to England with plans to spread the curse of vampirism. In England, Dracula begins preying on Lucy Westenra, a young woman engaged to Harker's friend, Arthur Holmwood. Despite the efforts of Dr. John Seward, Lucy's condition worsens, and she ultimately dies. However, she becomes a vampire herself, and her suitors, along with Professor Abraham Van Helsing, must destroy her to save her soul. The group, including Harker and his wife, Mina, soon realize that Dracula is the cause of the evil afflicting them. They band together to hunt Dracula, ultimately following him back to Transylvania. In a final confrontation, they destroy Dracula and rid the world of his evil influence. The main characters of the novel include Count Dracula, who is the ancient vampire who seeks to extend his undead influence to England; Jonathan Harker, a solicitor who becomes Dracula's prisoner and later joins the effort to stop him; Mina Murray/Harker, Jonathan's fiancée and later wife, whose intelligence and bravery are crucial in the fight against Dracula; Lucy Westenra, Mina's best friend and Dracula's victim, who becomes a vampire; Dr. John Seward, a doctor who runs an insane asylum and is one of Lucy's suitors; Professor Abraham Van Helsing, a Dutch doctor with knowledge of obscure diseases and folklore who leads the fight against Dracula; Arthur Holmwood, Lucy's fiancé who is devastated by her transformation into a vampire; Quincy Morris, an American adventurer and one of Lucy's suitors who aids in the battle against Dracula. Let's analyze Dracula's themes. Firstly, there is the fear of the unknown. Dracula taps into the Victorian anxieties about the unknown, particularly the fear of foreigners, disease, and sexuality. Dracula, as an Eastern European aristocrat, represents a fearsome other invading England. Secondly, sexuality and repression. The novel explores repressed Victorian sexuality, the act of vampirism, which, with its exchange of blood, can be seen as a metaphor for sexual intercourse. Lucy and Mina's experiences with Dracula reflect the anxieties surrounding female sexuality. Thirdly, science versus superstition. Dracula contrasts modern science and technology with ancient superstitions. Characters like Dr. Seward rely on modern science, while Van Helsing combines it with traditional folklore to combat the vampire. The role of women, the women in Dracula, are central to the plot, but their roles reflect the Victorian ideal of womanhood, pure, virtuous, and often in need of protection. However, characters like Mina also challenge this by showing intelligence, resourcefulness, and strength. And finally, the nature of evil. Dracula embodies pure evil, but the novel also examines the capacity for evil within humans, particularly through the transformation of Lucy and the moral dilemmas faced by the characters. In order to incorporate the themes within the novel, Bram Stoker uses an array of literary devices. The epistolary format, especially Through the novel's use of diaries, letters, and newspaper clippings, it creates a sense of realism and immediacy. It also allows the reader to see events from multiple perspectives, which builds suspense and horror. Stoker also uses symbolism. Blood, for instance, is a powerful symbol in Dracula, representing life, death, and the link between vampirism and sexuality. The crucifix in Gothic symbolize the power of faith and purity against evil. Now, as for the Gothic elements, Dracula is a quintessential Gothic novel with its dark, mysterious settings, like Dracula's castle, themes of horror and the supernatural, and exploration of the sublime. Finally, something that's very well used within the novel is the literary device of foreshadowing. Stoker uses to conclude on this great Gothic novel. Dracula has had a significant impact, and its legacy remains. It shaped the modern image of the vampire. Stoker's depiction of Dracula as a sophisticated yet monstrous figure has influenced countless adaptations in literature, film, and television. The novel's exploration of fear, sexuality, and the unknown continues to resonate with readers, making it a timeless piece of horror fiction. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the world of Dracula. If you enjoyed sinking your teeth into this analysis, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more literary adventures. Until next time, stay curious and keep reading.